Hi everyone, Alex Tardy here, National Weather Service. Two atmospheric rivers, but it looks like they're going to be weakening when they affect Southern California. We're going to talk about it here in this week's weather briefing. Thanks for joining. The highlights: two weakening atmospheric rivers. It'll bring some rainfall Tuesday night and Wednesday, then the next chance Friday into Friday night. The best chance is probably Friday. High snow levels initially, up around 8,000 feet, lowering to around 5,000 feet when that colder air arrives Friday night. The fuel moisture, our vegetation, is much recovered. So we don't have to talk about fire weather, at least for the next couple weeks. You can see here we're now spiked up to around averages here in Southern California. So that's great news. Now we've seen some recent heavy rain in Northern California as shown here. Some places in Northern California just in the past 3 days have received up to a foot of water. There are the numbers, and you can see the locations between 6 and 12. It wasn't a big storm so far for urban areas or the Central Valley, but it was for the watersheds in the northern Sierra Nevada and the southern Cascades. Now for us in Southern California, not so lucky. We're still less than 25% of average. We're still record dry. We have seen temperatures most of California above normal this winter, except for normal along the immediate coast here in Southern California. But our big news continues to be the record dry start. Now we look at missing precipitation. The numbers are quite large, anywhere from 5 to 8 inches in that brown shaded. 8 inches in our mountains and anywhere from 4 to 5 inches along our coastal areas. That's our missing precipitation for this winter. That's about half of our annual rainfall in some places along the coast. We did see some rain and snow, 2 weekends ago. And we started to see a little bit of runoff on the mountain slopes as shown here. This is a burn scar along Highway 330. As a reminder, if you live near burn scars, you should pay especially close attention when we talk about rain. The Palisades Eaton Bridge line and airport fires in particular. The precipitation we had 2 weekends ago was significant. Some of our burn areas received inch and a half, not all at once. It was distributed. Some of our urban areas even a ½ inch to an inch of rain. So very beneficial rain. That's why we are currently out of the fire weather situation. Another map showing the same thing. You can see spatially the yellow shaded is the San Gabriels, were the wettest. Parts of the Santa Monica Mountains north of LA and even parts of the San Diego Mountains. The weather pattern this week. So it hasn't changed a whole lot. It's still what we call buckled. So it goes up and down and around. The jet stream has been stuck over Northern California as this pocket of cold air, again, similar to last week, which was over us in SoCal. This week it's NorCal. The storm has shifted and stalled. So that's allowed a pretty healthy atmospheric river to bring that rainfall so far and to continue the rainfall through Tuesday in northern central California. Now, when we go deeper into the week, Wednesday, Thursday, we don't see much change to the weather pattern at all. But we do see a pocket of colder air. So you can see from Wednesday to Thursday, more blue. Some of that Arctic air breaks off and then enhances or energizes our jet stream, and that jet stream starts to push south again. That jet stream pushes all the way south on Friday, and that's our best chance for rain, and finally that lowering snow level. Now, in the long range, we don't see any big changes for us in Southern California, though the jet stream does go across the Pacific Northwest and then go by to our east, so that could keep it wet in the Rockies and the Pacific Northwest. Keeps us on the drier, cool side. This is a depiction of the atmospheric river as we go through time, courtesy of the Center for Western Weather Water Extremes. The atmospheric river is pretty much still stuck, and then it enhances on Tuesday over Northern California as shown here. Then when we get into midweek, a new a new band of moisture, a new atmospheric river starts to form in the east central Pacific and starts to approach the coast as we get into Wednesday. When we get into Thursday, late Thursday into Friday, it moves into central California, and then eventually Friday morning getting into Southern California as shown here. But do notice it weakens as it moves through with time. Here is the wind speed forecast. So these are onshore flows blowing from the ocean to the desert. Windiest across our mountains and passes with that first weather system Tuesday, Wednesday. The chances for rain on Wednesday, Tuesday night and Wednesday, highest in Orange County and the northern mountains as shown here, tapering off to the south. It doesn't mean the rain will be heavy, but more likely occurring. Now for the next event number 2, Thursday evening and Friday morning, we see kind of the same weather pattern. The northern areas have the best chance for rain, widespread precipitation. It tapers as you go south. We still see rain, but just a lot less chance of it being measurable. Now the total rainfall for the two storms is shown here. We're going to see the bulk of it Thursday night and Friday, and then we're going to see some of it Tuesday night and Wednesday. But overall totals could be up around inch and a half. That's not all going to come down at once. This rain is going to be generally a light, beneficial rain, where we could see some pockets of around 1/4 of an inch in the heaviest rain. But for the most part, this is going to be distributed over a long period of time with the two weather systems. You can see down towards the Mexico border, much lighter. Across California, this is the next 7-day outlook, and more big precipitation numbers for Northern California, Sierra Nevada, and the coastal ranges. So places that have already seen significant rain as shown earlier get even more. That's from the current atmospheric river, and then that's from the round 2 and colder storm that comes through on Thursday up north, eventually making it down here into Southern California on Friday. All right, the outlook is for below average as we go into the next week of February, but much colder than average in the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. So we're on the wrong side of the jet stream, on the dry side of it. That carries forward, unfortunately, for Southern California for the middle of February. So not too promising for additional storms coming up after this week. So this is for the following week in middle of February, and cooler, below average temperatures continuing. Some resources for you are posted here. Weather.gov is the easiest way to find a lot of our information. But you can also check out waternoaa.gov or the outlooks that I showed earlier on the link in the middle of the screen. All right, everyone. Have a great week. Enjoy the mostly beneficial rainfall and the high snow levels, unfortunately, with this incoming storm. A little colder storm for sure on Friday, and a better chance for widespread precipitation on Friday. Have a great week.